going through neti and seeing what we're not. It can be helpful in having us have a non-verbal, a non-logical experience of truth. So do as you wish. I close my eyes because it's just easier, but you don't have to. You can if you like. So imagine right now that we're all in a spaceship. It's pointed upwards. We're on the tarmac, awaiting takeoff. The count comes back, 3, 2, 1, and off we go. And you can feel the pressure from the G's of force as gravity pushes you back and back against your seat. And then the spaceship stops. And then it disappears. And we can see that it was just a dream because we believed we were bodies. And we believed there were spaceships. And we believed in takeoff and gravity and pressure and how that affects these bodies that we think we are. But what really happened? Absolutely nothing. Nothing moved except for imagination. What you think you are is just imagination. What you really are is that which imagines. And if I'm off on a little technicality, try to find where you can agree with me instead of trying to find out where you can disagree with me and trick me and win. Because you can always win here. But if you win, you won't wake up. Find what you believe and let go of what you don't believe here. Find what's true and let go of everything else. And what's true here is this naked realization. It's the sense of being. And really there was a sense of being that was strapped into a sense of spaceship. There was a sense of movement and pressure and speed, and then stopping right in the middle of the sky. These are the stories that we tell ourselves. These are the experiences that we think we have. This is the world of experience, but let's just notice that it's experiences. We're not calling it real. It's dream. It's dreaming. This is the dreaming itself. There's not really a dreamer. There's just the dreaming. And there's not the dreaming of something else because there isn't anything else. And right now, with this sense of being, you appear to recognize that you are. There's a sense of being, let's just say a sense of being alive, the sense of being here. But we want to notice that the sense of being here, the sense of aliveness, can have something to do with the truth, but it doesn't have to. I had a sense it was going to rain this morning, and it's dry as a bone. And sometimes I have a sense that it's going to be dry as a bone and it rains like crazy. If I ever luck out and this unit makes a good call, it'll consider itself a weather prophet. And it'll try to make sure that you see it the same way too. But we don't even know what's going on here now, because we don't know who we really are. I sort of know who I am. I am that which has been known as divinity for millennia. And that seems pretty satisfactory until you ask the other question. So what's that? And we don't know. We don't know what we are. So far as I can tell, there's no where we are other than here. But that's just a feeling. That's a report. I am here. But it's a dualistic report. So it means I am here and not there. So what you are is even beyond here, much less beyond you being here. There's no one that's being here. There's just here-ness. You are this here-ness without color, without definition. Without argument or decree. You are this. And this is you, but it's not limited to being you. Because you'll have some concept of you, and you're well beyond that concept. There's no concept of truth. A politician was asked if he had a plan, and he answered that he had ideas of a plan, or concepts of a plan, plans of a plan, which means he had nothing. But we take that nothing and we make it into something. And many will think he's got a plan that he's just not telling us about, but he's got a plan that he's not telling himself about either. There's no plan. And there's no plan here. Feels like there's a plan. Often looks like there's a plan. It's fine for us to report about the plan, so long as I don't think it's my plan, because then I'm back into this depth of misidentification. It's not the plan, there's just no plan, but it will feel like the plan, or it may look like the plan, or we may report it as the plan. I often used to joke that Fred's plans never worked out, but God's always did. And that's just a way of expressing something that's actually far deeper than those expressions can indicate. We are. We are the no thing. That is the potential the experiencing of everything. That's so profound, but it's so incredibly subtle. And we notice, just as Jim reported, that there's the sense, I have it. And there's a noticing that I don't. The problem in both those scenarios is that there's an I in there. An imaginary character cannot know truth. There's no Fred. Within the relative experience, there's Fredness, which is these patterns, the voice, the appearance, the seeming organs, all within a seeming of time and space. And all the while, this imaginary me, in order to question the fact that this imaginary me, when it's said to be non-existent, there's a resistance to that. And one of its chief resistances is the question, why this? Why that? Who did this? Who did that? How did that happen? Why did it happen? And we throw ourselves curveball after curveball after curveball. Because as long as we're throwing curveballs, we're not required to hit one out of the park. We're the pitcher, not the batter. But there's no pitcher, no batter, no inside the ballpark, no outside the ballpark, no inside of oneness and no outside of oneness, just oneness. An imaginary mind cannot grasp that, because the imaginary mind is about the size of a pea anyway. Weighs 3 pounds, but if you were to really drain it down, it wouldn't be much. But we take our hats off to our brains. We worship our brains. We take great pride in our brains. Present company not accepted. There's a sense here too. Although I have this good brain, it's wonderful. But there's no honor to the brain. In the deepest experience, there's not even a brain. That's all a method of the rational. All of it's the methodology of the dream. Within the dream, there's cause and effect. But there can't be cause and effect unless there's two. This causes that. There's no that. Unless we want to say, I am that, at which point there's no this. We want to understand the world in terms of this and that, and they are false measurements. They are false instruments of measurement. So we come to identify as these bodies, and we suffer, thank God, because the suffering turns whatever it is that we are back in the direction of truth. It's automated. We don't have to do anything. And we don't have to do anything to be clear. Just have to notice that we never were unclear. What confuses you is thought. not reality. Reality is too simple for confusion. But we're not really interested in reality. Human beings are interested in what they think about reality, which makes reality other. And there's no other, there's no two. It's more dualistic thinking. You are the one without a second. You are the one and only one. You are this without boundary or center, without zenith or nadir. Rest has no thing. Rest has no thing, my dearly beloved. Rest in the peace that you are. Thank you, everybody, for such a beautiful 90 minutes.